Hello, everyone. I am Rachel Thomas, editor at SME Media. I'm at the Manufacturing Technology Series Southwest show in Dallas, Texas, and I am here with Will Healy. If you could tell us about yourself and your position, real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, Rachel. Hey, I'm Will Healy. I work for Teradyne Robotics, Universal Robots, most people know us as. And I'm the product and industry director of product and industry marketing at UR.
Awesome. So, what kind of like a day in the life of your job kind of looks like?
Oh man, I get to do so many fun things. I get to work with robots. Um, I get to work on how we position them to customers. I get to go visit customers and see how they use the robots in real life, so that I can share those stories with other people.
Yeah.
I do a lot of speaking, like I did here at the MT series. I've been giving presentations on all kinds of different topics, trying to help people figure out how do they get started automating. And I like to say I'm an automation evangelist. So I love to talk about manufacturing automation and how people can use automation to solve their workforce challenges.
Absolutely, yeah. So, first question I have for you, what are some new products or services that Universal Robots is demonstrating at the show?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what I'm excited about is when you see partner solutions like this. You know, the arm by itself, it's exciting for me, but it's not so helpful for the end user. It has to be integrated into a machine. And so when you see something like behind us here, this is a full solution that someone can buy and they can solve this task, right? This task is someone picking up a box and putting it on a pallet over and over again. And like repetitive strain, this is boring. There's all these things that can happen in these applications to a person where it's maybe not as fun not as fun a task to do, or the repetitiveness of the task injures them. And so the robot taking on those tasks makes it better for everybody. So it's not about eliminating that worker, but it's about getting rid of the parts of their job that suck.
Yeah.
And that's what I really like about working with stuff like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if I'm correct, there are a few different Universal robots like all around the show, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a UR booth over here with one of our partners, and then in a couple of other booths, they're showing different applications from, kind of pick and place. I was talking with some folks about vision guided robotics, where you use a camera to guide the robots, and then machine tending. You know, MT series has a lot of kind of CNC machining and 5-axis machines and lathes and those kinds of things, and so. You see robots being used to tend those and put metal in and out of them as the process as the process gets done.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, speaking of, the different UR robots that are here, what are some of those, key features or improvements that you can touch on, or the benefits of these
Yeah, I
items?
think what I really like is the idea to be able to have collaborative automation. So the robot itself has to be assessed for a risk assessment. Is it safe? Is it safe for someone to work around? But many applications can be made where automation and human work side by side. And that's really exciting to me. So whether it's welding or tending a CNC machine or stacking boxes like we see behind us, what I find really awesome is if we can take away those physical tasks that suck, or those repetitive tasks that are boring, and we can focus people on doing things that use their brains and have them engaged, I think that's really valuable. And so what you see from the portfolio products that UR has is this ability for automation and workers to work side by side, and I think that's really powerful. The other thing that you see is these are industrial robots, and so they can do a lot of industrial robot things. They can do applications where people need to improve productivity, or they need to improve the quality, or they just need to have a more predictable output. You know, if a welder is welding and it's a hot day, they're going to weld less parts. If it's a cold day, they're going to weld less parts.
Yeah.
If it was a really good football game on Sunday night, on Monday morning, they're going to weld less parts, right? And so the ability for a production manager to really have a consistency in their production output, all these kinds of things come together, whether it's boosting productivity or consistency or quality, or just making the life of the worker better. All of those things then help an organization and create value for organizations.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, what are some of the trends that you've been seeing? Because you've attended all four MTC shows this year.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, what are some of the trends that you're seeing over this year in terms of customer needs and challenges?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think positively, I think most folks that I talk to, they see that they need to automate something. They see that they need to do that, and they've mostly identified projects that I think are decently good projects to automate, like trying to tend a CNC machine, or automate some welding processes, or automate a palletizing application like that behind me. But I think one of the challenges is the economy's kind of weird right now. So while folks know they need to automate, they have a hard time maybe allocating money or finding money to be able to do that. And so finding the right balance of automation that's affordable, as well as getting the value out of the automation. So trying to find the right balance, I think, is a major trend that people are seeing. I think you also see a lot of talk about AI. It's hard to avoid AI in our day-to-day life, right? And so you're seeing a lot of different folks talking about how AI can be applied in the factory. I think this is really fascinating, because when you look at things like Industry 4.0, this came from a government initiative. Manufacturers struggled with it. Things like IIoT and smart manufacturing came out of schools and universities. Those are great ideas, but manufacturers had a hard time adapting those things to what they were doing. But AI is really coming from manufacturers, and so you're seeing it really being applied in interesting ways, whether it's on a robot using a vision camera, or it's being applied in the way that we do our work, or the way that we build our processes in our business.
Yeah. And so, as I had mentioned, or you had said, you've been at all of our MT shows this year. And so, what are you looking forward to most in 2026? As far as like on your end or Universal Robots end, what are some things looking forward to?
Yeah, I think what I'm excited about for 26 is all the folks that have invested in automation this year, seeing all the value they've gained out of that. We've done a lot of surveys of manufacturers, and I'm going to share some of that in one of my presentations tomorrow, and I shared some today. And I think when folks make an investment in automation, they get all these values in the productivity and the quality and the predictability, but they gain all these other kind of soft things, where they're making better jobs for the people they have, and they're getting rid of the work that injures the people that they like, or their kids go together to play soccer, or their kids, they go to church together, or whatever it is. They want those people that work in their office to have a good life and to have a good career. And so when companies invest in automation, especially small to mid-sized manufacturers, it's really investing in their people, and you see them getting that value out of it. So I'm excited for 26 to see the folks that made the investment in 25, that they're getting that value, and that's going to make them more competitive. That's going to make them more productive. That's going to help them win more business, and I'm excited for those folks. For in 26, for those folks that haven't gotten automation, I'm excited for them to get on board and try to figure that out. Whether it's my robot or another robot, of course I want them to have my robot, but I want people to take the dive into automation if they haven't yet.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Rachel.
Thank you.